Hey guys, welcome back to Maxim Automation. Today in this APM tutorial series, we're gonna see how to perform mobile gestures on Android device. There are different gestures like tap, double tap, long press, and swipe. So today we are gonna see how to perform these swipe gestures using APM. With default driver settings, it cannot see the elements outside of the viewport. UI Automator allow you to see only elements located in the current viewport. So to interact with the element, we need to perform the swipe operation to bring that element into the current viewport. Swipe has a start and end points. The start point of swipe is most important because sometimes swipe operations fails if you start swiping with the elements that are waiting tap and do not pass touch to scroll view. So it is better to start swipe actions at the center of the screen. We can swipe in 4 directions, that is up, down, left, and right. When we say swipe in up direction, then we're going to press at the center of the screen, and then we'll move to the upward direction. Similarly, when we say swipe in down direction, then we're going to press at the center of the screen, and then we'll move to the downward direction. Same is applicable for right and left swipe. Now to perform the swipe operation, I'm going to create a function called swipe screen, which will accept arguments. One is the swipe direction, and the other one is fab driver object. Inside this method, first I'll get the screen size of the device using driver.manage.window.size, and will store into the size object. After that, let's create a switch block for calculating the coordinates of the screen based on the swipe direction. So I'm going to create 4 cases for down, up, left, and right direction. Now let's suppose that this is your mobile screen. And then this is the center location of the screen from where we'll start the swipe operation. To perform the right swipe, we'll press at the center of the screen, and then we'll move to the right direction. Similarly, we'll perform the swipe for each direction starting from the center. Mobile screen width and height can be seen as X and Y axis. So the screen width is X axis and the height of the screen is Y axis. And at this point, the coordinates value of the X and Y will be 0. And if we divide the screen height and width by 2, then we'll get the center location of the screen. Now let's suppose that the screen height value is 1000 and the value of screen width is 500. And when we divide the height and width by 2, then we'll get the XY coordinates value for center of the screen, which will be 250 and 500 in this case. And if we perform this swipe up, then the AND coordinates value for X and Y will be 250, 0, because Y axis value is 0 at this point. And if we do the swipe down, then the AND coordinates value for X and Y will be 250, 1000, because Y axis value is 1000 at this point, which is equal to the screen height. Similarly, if you perform swipe left, then the coordinates value will be 0, 500, because at this point, the x-axis value is 0. And in case of right swipe, the coordinates value will be 500, 500. So now I'm assuming that you get the idea how we are going to perform these swipe operations using the coordinates. And to store the coordinates value, I'm going to create the variable for starting width location, starting height, ending width location, and ending height. As we're going to start the swipe operation from the center of the screen. So the value for start width will be the screen size dot width divided by 2. And similarly, the value for start height will be the screen size dot height divided by 2. After that, based on the swipe direction, we'll calculate the width and height coordinates of end location. So when we swipe down, then the end width location will be the same as screen size dot width divided by 2. Because we are moving into the direction of y-axis. So x-axis value will remain same. And then the height value of end location will be equal to the screen size height. So you can provide the value equals to the screen height, or you can take some margin in case of any header or footer exists in your application. To use the margin, we can create a variable for border and then can initialize the value for the same. After that, we can use that margin by using the border value. Now let's say that this is our mobile screen and I'm going to perform swipe down operation. So the end location value of x coordinate will be the same at this point. And the value of y coordinate will be equal to the height of the screen. Let's say we have header and footer in the app. So we can use the margin for the same to calculate the x and y value of end location. Now, if you perform swipe up, then again the end location of x coordinate is gonna same, because we are still moving into direction of y-axis. And the end location value of the y coordinates will be 0 or equal to the border value. So for both swipe down and up, the end location of x is gonna same. Only value of y-axis will get changed. Now, if you perform the left swipe, then the end location value of x-axis will be equal to 0 or the margin which we have given. And the value for y-axis is gonna same as the start y-axis location. Because now we are moving into the x-axis. And then in case of swipe right, the end location will be equal to the screen width minus border margin. The value for y-axis is gonna remain same for right swipe as well. So when we move from center to right or left, then we are moving into the direction of x-axis. And when we move from center to up or down, then we are moving into the direction of y-axis. So that's why we can see that end location of x-axis remains same for swipe down and swipe up operation. While in case of swipe left and right, y-axis values remain same. So we have calculated the coordinate values based on the swipe type. Now I'm going to write the code to perform the operation. So swipe operation is basically performed by a series of operations. And to do that, first I'm going to create touch action object and we'll pass the driver object. After that, cast it into the iPerform touch action. So the first operation which is going to perform is press. As we want to press at the center of the screen, so I'll pass the start location of the coordinates. After that, I'll add a small weight to make it more reliable. And then I'll move to the end location, which takes the end location value of X and Y. So we're going to press at the center of the screen, then wait for 1 second, and then we'll move to the end location. After that, we'll release the touch pressure. And then we'll call perform method to perform all the operations in sequence. So when these actions are performed in sequence, then it mimics the swipe operation on mobile device. After that, let's add the catch block to capture any exception. I'll also add the default case if someone provides the invalid swipe direction. So I'm going to throw the exception in that case by mentioning that invalid direction for swipe operation. So we are done with our function to perform the swipe operation. Now I'm going to open the app and we'll click on views. And then we'll perform the swipe up and down operation. So for that, let me update the code to click on views. And then I'm going to call the swipe screen method for swipe up and swipe down. First swipe up and then swipe down. Let me put extra weight so that you can see the operations clearly on device. Now let's run the test to see the swipe operations on device. So execution has started. Here it clicked on views and then perform swipe up operation. And now swipe down. So this is how you can perform the swipe operations on the device. Similarly, swipe up and swipe down, you can perform the swipe left and right operation as well. If I go to the gallery on this application and select photos, then I can see the gallery view over here, on which we can perform the swipe left and right operation. The only challenge here that we cannot perform the operation from the center of the screen, because this view exists at the top of the screen. So what I can do is to show you the swipe left and right operation. I'll adjust the height location to point top of the screen instead of center of the screen. So I'm going to update the start location of height by dividing with 5. Let's say that this is the y-axis of the screen. And if I divide it by 2, then I'll get the center location. And if I divide it by 4, then I'll get the location somewhere around here. So I'm going to divide it by 5 to get the location to perform the operation. So I'll update the end location as well by dividing with 5. And then instead of up and down, I'll call the function for left and right swipe. Also, to perform the operation, we need to go to the desired screen by clicking on Gallery, followed by Photos. Now let's run the test again to see the swipe left and right operation. So execution has started. It clicked on views. And now you can see that it performed left swipe and then right swipe. So this is how you can perform the swipe operation on your device. Now, I'm going to cover one more aspect as well, Let's say that you want to click on an element which is not visible on the screen. UI Automator 2 won't be able to perform operation on the element which is not visible on the current viewport. And to reach out to that element, you need to perform swipe up many times until you get your element. Now let's say that I want to click on this element tab, which can only be seen when I perform multiple swipe up operations. So in that case, we need to perform the swipe operation until we get our element. So let's remove this code. And then I'm going to create a while loop, which will run till the time we don't get our element. So I'm going to put the condition as find elements dot count is equals to 0. And then I'll call the swipe screen method for swipe up. So this operation will continue to perform until the find elements dot count method does not return value greater than 0. Once the element found, the loop will get exit, and then it will click on the element. Now let's run the test. So you can see that it keeps swiping the screen until it don't find the element. Now the element is visible, so the loop will get exit and the element will get clicked. So this is how you can find the element on the screen by doing the multiple swipe. Also, let's assume that in case the element which you are looking is not available due to some functional issues or the property has been changed. So what will happen basically, the loop will run in an infinite mode. So I would suggest to keep a counter inside the loop to set the limit of maximum swipe attempt. Or you can create a for loop instead of while to run for a given number of time. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.